My name is Jared, and when I began lifting, I weighed 125 pounds. In 3.5 years, I gained 35 pounds of muscle. I've now been training for 7 years, and more importantly, I coach guys who are struggling with the exact same things that I used to. By the end of this video, you won't magically be bigger, but you will be clear on exactly what you need to do to start seeing the progress that you've been missing out on. By the way, this is the exact stuff that I break down in my community and I help guys with every single day. So if that sounds like something that you want, then go ahead and join that. The first habit that needs to be broken immediately is you telling yourself that I eat a lot without having the awareness or understanding what that actually means. Your memory, what you think you've eaten, is not actually reality. Tell me, can you remember what you ate yesterday? Everything. Can you remember what you ate last week, last month, 6 months ago? I can pull up exactly what I've eaten for the last 6 months every single day because I've tracked it. I know what I've eaten backdated 6 months, 12 months ago. And so with that, I can understand, I have an awareness of how much I'm eating, and then I can compare that to what I'm doing on the scale and how I'm progressing in the gym. They're directly correlated. Within this habit is also big meals. You're eating big meals, and so you think that you're eating a lot, but a big meal doesn't cancel out the rest of the day. You might eat like a bird in the morning and then have some huge big dinner, but you're still 100, 200, 500 calories short of what you need to be. Furthermore, your body adapts to averages, not intentions. If you intended to eat more, that doesn't matter. Most skinny guys don't undereat every single day, but on average they do. So they're in a surplus, deficit, surplus, deficit, deficit, surplus. They're net negative for the week, net negative for the next week, net negative for the next week, positive for the last week. That for the whole month is negative. You are hurting your progress by not eating consistently enough. And this was completely my habit early on. I remembered the big meals but forgot the little ones where I wasn't eating enough. I felt like I was doing enough, but my body and progress disagreed. The next habit that you need to break to start seeing progress is lifting without a target. Forgive the bad drawing. When you're lifting, when you're going into the gym, you might be going 7 days a week and putting in all this effort, but that does not necessarily equal progression. And so what I mean by that is if you go to the gym and do these random workouts and it's not consistent, you're not consistently building one movement like the bench press or the back squat, if you're not progressing every single week, adding more weight or reps, etc., if you're not intentionally progressing, then you don't have a clear target and you will not see progress. And it all comes down to tracking per usual. You must track the things so that they get better and that you see progress. That is just the foundation of everything we're doing here. It drives me crazy when I have a client or a friend and I see that they've been doing the same weight for a few weeks now, and I ask, okay, how much did you do? And they're like, oh, I did 6 reps. And I'm like, okay, what'd you do last week? And they're like, I don't know. I don't remember. I didn't write it down. Or I did the same last week. It's like, why didn't you move up? Why didn't you increase the weight? Why didn't you increase the reps? That looked easy. And they just kind of fudge around like, I don't know. It's like you're wasting your time. You're wasting your effort. If you gave 80% effort, why not give 100% and see more than 20% better results? It's common sense. Once this changes, you will start to change and see results. So break this habit. Enter the gym with a clear target of I'm going to do more today of a consistent thing that you're doing every week. The third habit that you need to break is over-researching and under-executing. What I mean by this is that you're constantly searching for the perfect plan instead of just taking action on one that's good enough. And so you spend weeks, months trying to find the perfect plan because you don't want to waste any time and you don't want to waste any effort. And instead, you could just be putting that time and effort into a program and figuring it out as you go. There is no such thing as the perfect plan. The perfect plan is the one that you like and are going to do long term. That is the perfect plan. And so that could be anything. Consistency over optimization. If you are just consistent with going to the gym, it's going to beat optimization every single day of the week. Again, figure it out as you go along. If you just start, your results are going to be better and faster than if you're just taking the time and over researching stuff. Execution compounds faster than information. Take these imperfect bricks and just start laying them down. And in 6 weeks, by the time you get the right information, you are much farther ahead. You are much more compounded and much better off than you would be if you were just trying to find the perfect brick to lay down. There's this story that I've heard about a pottery class, and they took 2 groups. One group was to make as many bowls as possible. The other group their task was to make the perfect bowl, just one perfect bowl. And at the end of the 12-week course, the group that made the most bowls, most of their bowls, 80% of their bowls were better than every single one of the other group's perfect bowl. And so what this shows is that if you just get started and start laying down the bricks, you're going to learn as you go along. You're going to figure it out and be better off than if you're just waiting around trying to put together the perfect program. And I'm guilty of this too. I did this. I wasted time trying to find the perfect program, so I didn't waste time.
What?
Doesn't make sense. At some point you have to ask, is the program failing or is my consistency failing? If you want help actually fixing these habits instead of trying to do it on your own, this is exactly why I built my school community. There's a free basics course inside that helps you get clear on what actually matters for muscle growth, and higher levels if you want structure, accountability, and feedback from yours truly. If you're serious about building muscle, the link is below. Stop doing this alone.